The Redmi Note 5 Pro is Xiaomi's latest smartphone, just recently introduced to the Indian market alongside the cheaper Redmi Note 5. Well, here you get a 5V 2A charger, which is a normal charger and not a fast charger. And here is a micro USB 2.0 cable. Redmi Note 5 Pro has a 5.99-inch 2160 by 1080 IPS LCD with an 18:9 aspect ratio. On the back you will see a vertically placed iPhone X-like rear camera setup. 3.5mm headphone jack has been moved down to the bottom edge where it sits to the left of the micro USB port with the mono-aural speaker grill. This phone has got the 4000 mAh high capacity battery, which company claims can offer up to 19 days of standby time, 14 hours of video playback or 8.5 hours of gaming. The badges around the display aren't the thinnest, but they are definitely thinner than its predecessor. We have the power and volume control buttons on the right. It has also been paired with LPDDR4X memory, which is only seen in high-end devices. On the front is a single 20MP f2.2 aperture and a 1.12 micrometer sensor with an LED flash. Unfortunately, 3 out of the 4 color versions come with a white front panel, which can bother some of you. If this is the sort of thing that will annoy you, then black model is your best bet. On the back, the Redmi Note 5 Pro has a dual camera system with a 12MP f2.2 aperture and a 1.25 micrometer primary sensor, and a 5MP f2.0 aperture and a 1.12 micrometer secondary depth sensor. The phone has no support for 4K recording, even though the chipset is capable of doing it, and other phones in this price range are doing it with much slower processors. Adreno 506, the GPU is now powerful enough to play almost every game you throw at it perfectly fine. Snapdragon 636 SoC brings Gyro cores from the high-end segment down to budget phones for the first time. Essentially, the Snapdragon 636 is an underclocked version of the Snapdragon 660. The chipset offers massive gains over the outgoing Snapdragon 625 and should make budget phones that much more exciting. The Gyro 260 leverages 4 semi-custom Cortex A73 cores clocked at 1.8 GHz along with 4 semi-custom Cortex A53 energy-efficient cores at 1.6 GHz. It's pretty disappointing that the Redmi Note 5 Pro doesn't come with Android Oreo out of the box, but it comes with Android 7.1.1 Nougat out of the box. The performance on this device is noticeably improved over its predecessor and generally good for most parts. Geekbench score is 1335 on single core and 4888 on multi-core. With a score of 112,521, the Redmi Note 5 Pro is miles ahead of any other device in the budget segment. Overall 3D Mark score is 949. One major bummer is the continued presence of microUSB, which really should have no place in the year 2018. Another issue is the continued use of hybrid SIM slot, which means you can't use 2 SIM cards if you choose to have a microSD card or vice versa. Here is the manual mode where you can set white balance and ISO values. In the video mode on the top, you get options like settings, time-lapse and slow motion. Portrait mode is supported by both rear and front camera. Rear camera creates portrait shots by dual camera setup and front camera creates portrait by MIUI AI system. Redmi Note 5 Pro comes with EIS, which is Electronic Image Stabilization. EIS minimizes blurring and compensates for device shake. Wow, here you can play around with a bunch of filters. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you found the video useful. This is Sci-Fi Gen and I am signing out.